Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.
Okay, how's it going, everyone? It's South China Morning Post, SCMP Martial Arts, Bangkok, Thailand. We've just seen the end of One Fight Night 11. A stunning conclusion. Regian Ursel retaining his lightweight Muay Thai belt in 46 seconds. Were you expecting that, Chatri?
No, actually, I thought there was a big risk because Menchikov hits very, very hard. And in those small 4-ounce gloves, you know, anything can happen. So I thought if there was going to be a shocking ending, I thought it could have been a big upset by Menchikov, but I did definitely not expect a 46-second KO. I thought it might be third or fourth round. You know, Regian would need to wear him down and take away his KO power before finishing him. I thought that would be a more likely scenario. So yeah, shocking.
Who's going to stop this guy? Regian's just taking everyone you throw at him and making it look easy.
You know, we have the best strikers on the planet already on our roster, but we also have the best strikers who aren't on our roster, who are all clamoring to join one. From other organizations, whether it's kickboxing organizations or Muay Thai organizations around the world. So I can tell you that the demand is far bigger. The demand for a spot, you know, in the one roster is far bigger than the number of available slots. So, but again, the number of talent, unbelievable talent out there is enormous. So it's, you know, step by step, and Regian will have his hands full very quickly.
Co-main event, Kade Ruotolo retained his lightweight belt. This one's submission grappling against Tommy Langaka. A bit more competitive, that one, but, you know, Kade, a worthy winner, unanimous decision.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kade was, had obviously the more aggressive submission attempts, the more aggressive passing attempts and initiating action and whatnot. Tommy did a phenomenal job, not to take anything away from Tommy. They both had, I think, a couple catches or near catches. And the pace was very, very high. So you saw right there submission grappling at the very, very highest levels in the world, super technical, and both athletes came to finish. They came to win. No one was stalling.
Kade Ruotolo, he asked for MMA now, though. He says he'll take whoever's next, but he's been telling me all week that he wants to go to MMA sooner than his brother Ty, who's still got business with Marigali and potentially Gordon Ryan. So what do you think? Next thing for Kade, is that MMA?
For sure. I think the world wants to see, you know, very intrigued. The thing about the Ruotolo brothers, they're both very talented. They are pure, you know, athletes. If you just look at their balance, their explosiveness, their speed, their cardio, just from a pure, they could have chosen any sport and they would have been the best in the world. I truly believe that. They happen to love jiu-jitsu and they happen to love, you know, fighting. And so, you know, I do think they're going to make remarkable transitions in MMA. And, you know, I think that's what's very intriguing about one is that you can be a multiple sport champion, so they can still do what their true love is, which is submission grappling, but they can, you know, if they're good enough, because they're such amazing athletes, and obviously you have to, you know, inherit the skills. So I know they've been training for several years now in striking, and their wrestling's on point already. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kade rise through the roster very in short order, because apparently he has very heavy hands. I have not seen it, and then he obviously has the speed. So, but yeah, the beautiful thing about one is you don't have to be restricted to one rule set, to one sport. You can be a multiple sport world champion.
Well, I think the man who blew the roof off, Superbon, he got the biggest reaction here, Lumpinee Stadium. Unbelievable second round, head kick KO. Just, yeah, incredible. He's now got 2 of those in one championship after winning the belt v Petrosyan. Which one did you think was better?
I thought Petrosyan one was better, but they're equal skill, difficulty to pull off, right? The Petrosyan one was better, I thought, because, you know, you had a prime, best of the best Giorgio Petrosyan. No one had ever done that to him before, and he has the sharpest eyes. And yet, what Superbon really capitalizes on, and in the same thing today, is he focuses on that split second right after you finish your combination. But the leg is already coming up. Usually there's a beat. Normally you'll 1, 2, 3 pop, and you step back, and the opponent, because they're recovering from the punch, will give a beat. In this particular case, you know, what Superbon has perfected is a no-beat kick. So he's pop, 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 pop. You don't even know if you're mid combination, and he throws a kick while he's getting tagged, and usually at the very end. So that's a very, very high level, very difficult move to do, and especially off his left kick, you know, off his left side to do that. That's just, so the technical difficulty of pulling that kind of kick off is a 10 out of 10. Not many people can do that in close range, in punching range, to throw a head kick while they're getting punched, and yet when the ending of the combination, the kick's already in the air. Again, most people can do high level strikers can go through a combination or receive a combination and have a beat before they actually initiate a counterattack. But to do it in the middle of getting, receiving a combination is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Worthy of a bonus and perhaps a title shot. What do you think?
100%. I've already decided Super Bon will face the winner of Chingiz Alasov and Murat Grigorian.
Going to have him at the arena, maybe do a face-off after that fight?
Possible. I don't know. Where's that fight? I don't know.
I think it's here.
Oh, is it? Okay, got it. Okay.
Any word on Tayfun Özcan? I heard he didn't go to hospital yet, but that was a nasty one. You stretch it out.
So he was stretched out. But, the thing about one-punch KOs or one-kick KOs is they are rarely dangerous. The more dangerous fights that I get worried about are the 5-round wars where you get hit in the head repeatedly. And that's why boxing has so many fatalities, because when you go 12 rounds and you're getting hit hundreds of times in the head, and you're, let's say, concussed in the 7th, 8th round, and you're still getting pounded, that is how why striking arts can be dangerous. Of course, there is still the chance of a one-punch KO or one-kick KO strike, which ends up in a very serious injury. There's always a possibility, but it's less worrisome, probabilities-wise.
And we mentioned Petrosyan there. Any word on when he may come back, if he is coming back? I'm hearing something that he may have a fight in the works.
Yeah, no, so I spoke to Giorgio briefly. We exchanged messages. I spoke to Armin as well, his brother. And, Giorgio has not been able to sleep since the KO loss. So he's taking all sorts of sleeping and anti-anxiety medication right now. He still can't sleep. So physically he's in good shape, but mentally he's just in horrible shape. And, he told me, Chatri, I'm going to retire. That was literally what Giorgio said to me 2 days ago. 2 days ago, he said, Chatri, I'm going to retire. And that was very shocking to me. I said, hey, man, take some more time off. You're still, because physically he's still very, very good. But he literally wrote to me, he's like, I don't think I can compete with the best in the world anymore. It's very sad, very, very sad. But I said, hey, look, your whole life, you've gone through a ton of adversity. When you're a kid, you're sleeping in the Milan train station. You can definitely come back from this, right? So, again, it may take more time, or I just don't know, but he's definitely not in a good mental place, and that's, I don't know, how he fought like 18 months ago or something like that, a long time ago, yeah.
September, I think, first strike, the kickboxing card, 2021.
Wow, great memory, wow. Yeah, so almost 2 years, right? Yeah. And he still can't sleep. He literally can't sleep. He has nightmares, so.
Well, you mentioned as well this week to me there's another star in one who's considering retirement, Angela Lee. I guess you wouldn't try to talk her out of it if she did retire. That's a bit harder to go to a fighter, right?
Yeah, no. I try my best to be as supportive as possible to our athletes from their perspective, not from my perspective. So I told Angela, I literally just talked to Angela 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? It was 2 days ago. And she said, Chatri, I'm likely going to retire. I haven't fully decided yet. But she just doesn't have it in her to fight anymore and train, and she doesn't have it in her. And I just told her, whatever you decide, I support the decision, because this is a very deeply personal one. But on the flip side, when I spoke to Christian, right off the bat, and Christian and I hadn't spoken about work for since Victoria passing, right? 6 months, and Christian. Right away, he said, no, I'm 100% coming back. I just need more time. He hasn't trained at all. And Ken is retired as a coach completely. So he has, so that's, It's still, the family is still going through a grieving and healing process, and it's going to take time.
Yeah. I imagine Christian's got to find a new camp, but have you got any ideas maybe for those fights in his divisions? You said he would.
Yeah. So I did ask Christian for his blessing. We're going to do interim title fights, 100%, both in lightweight and welterweight division. So I just literally spoke to Matt Hume about putting together, you know, what he thinks are worthy fights for the interim title fight for lightweight and for welterweight division. So I hope we can get it done in the next few months. You know.
Can you tease any names for us? Yeah.
I think Murad Ramazanov is definitely should be one of those guys. He's I think he's undefeated. I think he's 12-0 or 16-0, something like that. I think an interesting one though is RDR says he wants to move down to welterweight. Yeah, and he wants to fight for the title. So that could be a fun fight. I have no idea if that's going to happen or not, but RDR versus Murad might be one. They're just toying with a bunch of different ideas right now, but obviously worthy ones. We want to make some good fights.
Yeah, well,
and worthy of the world title, of course.
Sure. Yeah, RDR was talking about middleweight title. I guess there's nothing on the horizon there for him because the contract situation, Ongla has been resolved yet.
I'm optimistic. I mean, Ongla wants to stay with one, and we want him. So it's not nothing. There was nothing contentious about it. I think it's just Matt Hume and him settling on a number they both believe is win-win. Both believe is fair, and I hope they do settle on something fair because I love Ongla, and he loves one. So I want it to work out. Yeah.
All right, and there's a big show coming up here in a couple of weeks. Your quarterly tentpole show, One Friday Fights 22, June 23rd. 2 title fights. Finally, Anatoly Malakin, Arjan Bular. Someone's going to sleep, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see how Anatoly versus Arjun is going to go the distance. These are 2 heavyweights. They both have very complementary skill sets in the sense that they're both outstanding wrestlers, and they both love the box, right? So I think usually when you have 2 high-level wrestlers, it ends up being a striking war. And so somebody's going to go to sleep.
Yeah, we have an interim fight. There's so much on this card. What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, I mean, there's just... I don't know if you've been catching the One Friday fights, but I don't know. I might be biased, but I think that is currently the most exciting combat sports product on the planet. I mean, the number of KOs, the number of crazy fights is just electrifying. So I think, the world is really going to get a taste of it because every single fight literally could be a main event of any global combat sports organization, a main event. So I do think the way the card's set up is that there could be a very strong likelihood of 100% finish rate. There's a when you look top to bottom, there is a very strong chance it's 100% finish rate. And it is a tentpole for One Friday Fights. It's not a tentpole for our normal, numbered events, which is tentpole, right? But we will have our next big numbered event later this year, which will be a unbelievable card. We're already working on it, and it's going to be a new country, a new first for us, and it's a mega card.
So this is not a Prime Video card, a fight night. It's
this is
back to
a numbered. So we have 3 products right now: the numbered, which we haven't done in a few months. The Fight Night product, which is our mid-range product, and then One Friday Fights, which is our kind of entry-level product where people are vying to get into one championship. So the 2 main products, much like the UFC actually, right, is they have a Fight Night product and they have a numbered product.
So we haven't seen one of these since Manila, I say, right? Numbered,
yeah, exactly.
So will that be Asia Prime Time?
It depends. I mean, there are a couple countries right now vying. 3 countries that we're looking at right now, and once we decide on the country, we can announce. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I've taken a lot of your time. Just last one. Any U.S. return news going back?
Yes, definitely. We will be returning with many more events. The U.S. team on ground, we're hiring like crazy right now in the U.S. and. We already have plans for multiple events next year. So in the U.S., I don't want to name a number yet because that number is really going to be dependent on a few factors. Like we are in discussions with Amazon to deepen and broaden our partnership. So that could obviously mean a full scale of events versus at a minimum we'll definitely go multiple times next year because of the success we saw. In the U.S. And we really do believe, again, we have a very unique, differentiated brand and a very unique, differentiated product that combat sports fans in America just have never had exposure to at scale. The world's greatest martial artists across all these different disciplines with the production value and all that other stuff, right? So
it's safe to imagine Rodtang will be on that US card next time.
yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, that was a pretty crazy. I can't remember. Were you in the stadium at that time watching? Yeah, you were. So you felt it. I mean, it was crazy, crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Chatri, for speaking to us.
Thank you,
Not
Nick,
a
as always.
breaking news
Appreciate
there.
it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see you next month, hopefully.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dom Lau here from One Championship. You are tuned into the best damn martial arts news outlet anywhere in Asia. SCMP Martial Arts, baby. Give them a follow.